Great, we're started. So I'm going to go ahead and call for Warwick School Committee to order. It was almost the end of March. It was Wednesday, March 21st at 3:06. So we have Matt, our school business administrator, joining us online. Everybody else is in the room, so I'm going to do roll calls for anything. Only school committee meeting member that's not here, at least at the moment, is Adam Holloway, Rick Fisher, Louise Dow, South Bryant Renewal, first Carol Leonard Miller, our superintendent, and we have Ella, a visitor, off in the back. So welcome all. Actually, initially when we couldn't do interviews today, I was bummed, but now I'm kind of glad we have this sort of extra moment to have that be on the agenda. But let's go ahead and work through our agenda. We'll be as efficient as we can. Now that we're starting at 3, get you on the road, but the sun's still up. We early for the band concert.
I'll be on time for my rehearsal.
Any public comments or any comments from the public that folks want to share?
You being the public, Ellie.
What? Do you want to wait until we're talking on school choice?
I honestly didn't come with an agenda. I just sort of came to see what it was all about. And we would love to have a kindergartner here, and we're hoping that there'll be more students, and if there are, wonderful.
Okay.
But in general, I just wanted to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? Be informed.
Excellent.
I was gonna say, I heard lovely things about the play, and I think that, and I also know, like, say that I emailed Carol this, but I came really close to when it started, and it was like the cars were parked all the way
Yeah.
to the end of the driveway, and so it's like, oh. So I was just like thinking about that for like future events, and then I also heard like that it was like maybe like a lot for like the really little kiddos.
Yeah.
So that makes look like pass them like now. And so just thinking about like, yeah, like maybe it's an upper school play, or maybe,
Well, that's what they did last year.
right, yeah.
And then,
And I think that's really sweet to combine. And I'm actually on Friday we're going to a school in Boston to see the play that their K-6 is putting on, so I can,
You can give out.
I know I can report back on that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I also think maybe if it runs shorter, because it did go for a long time. So I think if it were a little bit shorter, and then maybe the lower ones would
Yeah.
to participate, or if there's an intermission. They sort of made their own intermission, didn't they? There was like a little bit of a string of little yeah. So, which is totally fine. But I do think that we can make some tweaks that would be or from them.
Yeah, like look for that, and then like for the families who are taking them home.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
we could do any other meeting.
Well, in terms of the play, I have to admit, and this is just me being selfish, it was really nice to see an older student up there with younger students and have it just working so well.
Yes.
But that's just me being selfish. But I would hope for people to treat the little ones involved. It was just really.
Yeah.
yes, it was. My only concern was that I couldn't hear.
This sound.
Yeah. Yeah, the sound is hard. It's hard in that room anyway, but then those, yeah. You need a tech person right there, you need somebody who can mess with those mics and make sure that everybody's on target with it, because things can go off and on without the kids touching them even,
We're making a few more eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, that room is challenging.
Yeah, the students that weren't like,
It's a gym first and an auditorium
yeah.
third.
Is second. It just so full of like the turnaround. I mean, I knew it was gonna get good. But just to have every child you know, have two parents and a aunt and a grandparent. I mean, it really, I felt like proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's like the biggest thing that's ever happened at the school. Definitely.
It's the biggest that
I
Well,
did that full before, but it's been a long time.
yeah, and we weren't out of parking because people can go up the curb here and park on the basketball court. So we didn't completely,
That's good.
yeah.
Save the parking lot, yeah.
We did have a parking lot attendant, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. If we had somebody parking at the beginning, they could turn folks on.
there you go, feedback, you got good feedback, girls.
And then at select board meeting, I did get feedback on the budget. So the reason I sort of reformatted things, and I believe I've sent, if I haven't, I certainly will, since it goes to FinCom and select board, is that folks did misunderstand. I told this to Carol, but Matt, just so you know, as other folks know, some really fairly with it folks really looked at when we first printed out the budget and the way it was in the presentation, we just had the fiscal year 26 school committee allocation. So it was just part of the budget compared to all the, the two parts of the fiscal year 27 budget. So some folks looked at a couple of lines and said, oh, that tripled because we weren't showing the grant support offset on the fiscal year 26. So that's why the current version, and I meant to do colored mass copies yesterday and I forgot. Sorry. So we're gonna have to squint the black and white copies, but that's why it's got all the columns. And that there will be a lot of pressure. I'm continuing to hear a lot of concern about this year's budget for the town.
So are we ready to do minutes?
Yes, sorry.
I move that we,
Still here? No.
I move that we accept the March 11 and March 18 minutes as written.
And so that
Oh, they've been amended.
the March 18th, Diana helped me with some of the specifics. So I had said about 20 school employees, and so we specified 15 this year,
Okay,
17 to 18 next year. And then there was also, just
so these are the old, what's printed is the old, because you just did that?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then the other thing is just saying that is that line. Where it's like offset. Oh, yeah, so some line items look like they have increased more because in FY 26 they were offset by grants from previous years.
I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passed unanimous. So next would be updates. I think Carol, did you have?
Yeah, let's see, I have. I put questions out, so a couple things that I was supposed to follow up. One, the issue of a homeschool student who wants to play high school sports. I reached out to all tiny districts who are in the same situation. They said, good question, we haven't had that. Let us find out.
So,
That's where I am in my research. It's just, not super helpful. This, I'm gonna keep looking and hope to have information.
So you haven't talked to Patricia Kinsella yet about Pioneers?
I sent an email. I haven't heard from him. I heard from the other trainees who said they just hadn't had that specific paper. He's our attorney. So it's okay.
Yeah, because I recall in the previous iteration of the school that there was there was an option for homeschoolers to come here for gym and art and things like that. So, but that was when we were in the district, right? So I bet that it isn't too much of a stretch. It's just, maybe athletic fees, etc., that would make a difference, but we'll see.
I would not be shocked if you get different answers from our two different superintendents. It might be one of those questions that knowing what the answer is you want
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you ask it might be.
And you were hoping that you'd get some information from the other tiny districts before, yeah, before you called them first. Yeah, yeah, you're good, you're good.
Next thing that I'm gonna do, just so you know, I mean, hopefully I'm gonna hear something from Ross in the next week. And then what I am gonna do is reach out to Patricia and just like what
Yeah. If you get in, if it's at all helpful, have a side conversation. I believe Brian is going to a school committee tomorrow.
Oh, okay, what
So if you decide it's helpful,
thank you.
sometimes in person and informally helps.
Yes, yes, true. Oh. Full report. You didn't even anticipate having in the first place. And it's, we do have this choice information update, and I do with the interim committee update. Yes, I'm gonna see that. I get that. Just wait until the check.
Wait, so that we can talk about budget with Matt here.
Yeah, sounds fantastic.
So, so if that's, everything else is on the agenda, then, the question's going to be, what do we want to talk about tonight, or what do we want to ask Matt or Carol? If we're, with the question being, are we willing and comfortable voting on the budget as it stands? So, does anybody else have any feedback about the budget hearing?
I really appreciate you all putting the budget together. I think my only feeling is nervous about how it will all go, and I don't know what other solution there is, so.
Yeah. I have asked Carol, and Matt indirectly, if the finance committee would like to talk to them, whether they'd be available, not tomorrow, but a week or two. And that's just me guessing, so I really appreciate your flexibility, because there could be some questions. I'm sure they'll have questions for me tomorrow. I've already been wanting to put questions for me tomorrow. So I will do my best with them tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're still hard questions. I'll pass them on to the week after that.
I'll jump in and say, I don't see any comments on the post on Facebook, and we had 5 views of the YouTube.
Oh, well.
Thank you.
I will say, because Carol and I talked about it yesterday, I noticed that where we are with school choice at the moment is a little bit short of what that revenue line is in the budget. And I think Carol has a plan B, and I think that works. I mean, the point being that we haven't really advertised. We're doing very well with the kindergarten class, and we haven't really advertised the other grades. So there's a fair amount of confidence coming from Carol that we will fill those other slots. So given that, as long as you and Matt are comfortable with the idea that if those slots don't fill, then that gap has to come from within the school budget. Because from the town perspective, what happens is that there's one number that goes on the town. It's one line and one number. All this work gets condensed to just one number that goes on the town budget and gets voted. So if that gets voted up, then it is up to the school to work with that budget. So.
I'm comfortable. Are you comfortable, Matt?
I think it's good. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with the budget. I hope. It would be good if we can get as close as possible to that school choice number though, because what were we at 19 out of, we were hoping for 25.
Yes, I think that's the right number. I think it's not, we just think it's not gonna do that. Either, we should have it right. We have 8 kids, the other day. The kids, so we currently have 19.
And we're shooting for 25.
Or 25.
And clearly we still have interest. Pretty good interest. I'm hearing silence, but I see you looking and writing.
Well, I'm just, I need catalog search. I can't read, I'm like, okay, what's that bottom number? So that's okay, no, so computer screens are hard too, so it's all right. I mean, I've gone over the budget enough with us talking about it in our meetings and looking at it in bigger
Yeah.
print, so I just wanted to get the totals down for each account.
Might help. Let's recurring questions from income tomorrow. Yeah, I could do like an FAQ. We had an FAQ about something else recently, and I think it was helpful. So if we're hearing some questions, maybe we can put together an FAQ. It's that we all have the answers to the questions, and it could even be okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Library
Yeah.
and town hall.
and we could even do it online and.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I would think we can create our own questions if they're not asked, right? Especially about the difference in state funding for chapter 70 and rural aid. And of course, that some grants have run out. But yeah,
Yeah, that's a good idea. We know.
we know what the questions are
We know
that
that.
we know many of them, yeah. The ones I asked at our budget meeting. You can say, oh, it's good that you're being a devil's advocate. Never what I asked, but
Right. Do we want to vote the budget?
Sure.
If like FinCom comes back and says, no, whether we come back and review it,
Yeah,
are
I think that would be fair.
we thinking it's gonna get tremendous pushback?
I honestly don't know. I will say that the town budget is still very much a draft and it's in flux, and the question is, can we avoid it? So, we're right on that line, and we're at, from a taxpayer perspective, somewhere in the 17% increase, in terms of tax burden, total tax burden, the taxpayer has to pay. So, this is new. We haven't been here. So, I don't know. And we do have, we do have one brand new FinCom member, who's not really familiar with the school story, so the other thing, I mean, I'm gonna invite her to sit and talk with me about the history. But there's a chance I may introduce her to you as well.
What's her
Sydney?
Oh, she joined us on.
Yes.
Do we have a sense, because there's always been that back and forth, and I should ask this weeks ago. Do we have a sense of how much increase is going on for the other districts around us?
Yeah.
Is it a lot?
It varies quite a bit.
So, like we did the comparative thing analysis of if we were on our own, this is what it would cost, still there,
Oh,
going up X.
I remember the article, I should have saved those articles, but there was an article about the Pioneer budget. And it seems to me that overall it was, I think it was up like 12% or more.
Yeah, I can put that
Well-
in FAQs. Like, oh my gosh,
That's a
Yeah.
good idea. That's a really good idea.
That's,
changing.
some of them are changing. And the tricky part is all of those budgets, I think we're the only ones that don't necessarily have the health insurance number in. So if we're gonna compare, we need to do, sadly, not 7%.
Right, but
But the higher.
yeah,
That includes the.
yeah, my sense is that other districts are comparable. A lot of them are comparable or higher increases,
But there are.
but I
also
don't know the
many that-
details of them. Yeah, I think
Pioneer's getting pushed
Mahar's
back on. I think- I
Mahar's
think they're-
lower.
Yeah, Mahar's lower, Pioneer's lower. I think Pioneer's total budget is up less than 8%, but what they're charging the towns as a whole is up 8%. But some towns are going up 12, some are going down, you know. Because of the whole
Oh,
calculation
they're
with the region,
Configuring the,
because it changes by enrollment.
yeah,
So some towns are definitely up more than others. But they're getting pushback on a significantly lower increase than we're asking for.
yeah, already sparse budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, state.
Yes. Yeah. So one of the things I did when I talked to the select, I said, all right, here's the state support, and I showed, you know, the school support going down over 3 years, and then the general state aid going up just a tiny bit, like 4% each year. Stop. Because then, of course, health insurance, I don't know if you've heard, but health insurance went up twice last year. So we were one of those towns, so it went up 40% last year, it's going up another 13% next year.
They're comparatively in HGA.
They did, yeah. But I
Is
think
that the
that,
health, is that a health insurance
yeah, they're,
group? Yeah. Yeah. They chose to leave it to find less expensive.
you're trying.
Mhm.
The thing with the state group, the GIC, is if they don't make, if there's a gap for the GIC, the state makes up the difference. So,
What's GIC?
it's this, I don't remember what it stands for. Yeah, we're both covered by it. and I can't
General
remember.
something?
Yeah, but it's the state insurance.
Okay. So that if
For
there's
state
a
employees.
gap, the state makes it up.
Yeah,
Okay. So
that's
it's,
what changes the,
so it levels the playing field for school district employees to not pay more than state employees?
well, it just means like, so we're in a group called HCGIT.
Mhm.
And they weren't looking far enough ahead at some of their financial planning. And now they are doing much better at it. But that's why they went up so much last year. They went up 20% at the beginning of the year, and then midway through the year, they said, oh my goodness, we need more money. Because we're running out. And GIC wouldn't necessarily be in that position because they've got that little bit of room to deficit spend and have filled in at the end of the year. It's not an easy process, but it's still available to them, and it isn't available to our.
Okay,
Anyway,
it's complicated.
it's complicated, but it's a big part of the solution. And I just want to make sure, you know, sure we're thinking of that, because certainly the townspeople start paying attention to that. I know a couple of. Why isn't health insurance in that? And why is it over here? So.
Yeah, I
I
was
think
really
that
glad
we're
Nancy
doing-
brought that up,
Yes,
so that we could put that in before the hearing.
Yeah.
But I don't, I mean, this is the best we have right now until we get more feedback from the finance committee. And so if we vote this, then we could amend if we needed to in order to get the finance committee's support on town meeting floor.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I move that we approve the budget for, and what's important here is the total, right? So we're talking about the 1,268,480 number?
I think we should approve it. I'm glad you started looking at it that way. I think we should approve it 301, 302, 308, the different sections.
Oh, okay,
Absolutely.
all right. So for 301, it would be 111,364. This 32, this is 302, so 302 is 780,442. And, oh, and then middle high school, 308. Oh, well, 301, 302, 308, okay. And what that's 376, 673?
Oh,
Okay, all right.
and that's, so that's a that's a total of 1,268,480 for the school appropriation.
Yeah, so it's the same number. You're just
Yeah.
making sure that the motion has all three,
Yeah,
okay, divisions in it. Great. Anybody want to second my motion?
I will second your motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There's your name.
That I didn't have,
Got a budget.
it's Matt's first forward budget.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Flora.
Thank you.
I will see you guys next week, I guess.
Yes, next Thursday.
Yes, and I'll confirm with you, because they may not have any questions. I'll let you know.
Oh, that's the FinCom.
All right, let me know.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
Matt.
you. Bye.
Have a good evening.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to talk about it. Go ahead with the interview.
And so, going inside with the and you know, the school committee is incredibly supportive and they're giving me a contract. It was the first year to be able to leave. So what we're doing is looking for interim superintendent position. No, she have 5 candidates. We initially had 5 candidates. One is withdrawn. One we chose not to move forward.
Oh, she has officially withdrawn.
He's officially.
Okay.
We have 3. But we have checked our in process of checking references so far. They all seem strong enough that we want to bring over any other like basic thing we want to share.
They're all experienced.
Yes,
A couple of them are retired and they're still hungry.
yes.
So coming to a small district after being superintendent of a larger district seems appealing to them. So I'm gratified that at least with one of them who really researched us, that who we are is drawn into in this way.
Me too.
So I guess that means I'm really hoping that it'll be a smooth transition.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Sometimes different, it's better.
yeah, so, anyway, we have this draft schedule. One of them, the priority really is having everyone in the community have the opportunity to participate in the search. So, what we've come up with so far, gives them an opportunity to turn the staff, have a tour of the school, have a meeting with parents, talk to the school committee of course, and we're gonna incorporate some children. And someone just gave me feedback. The kids were not explicitly involved. I'm gonna fix that. Probably having them join staff meetings. And so the idea is that this will all happen on leadership team will also do an interview that on Zoom. So you'll have
Before it.
I think before you because this will
Okay.
be 2 weeks. And then what I'm gonna do is develop a survey with Carol Holtzberg. So everyone that meets with these candidates, they'll fill out the survey and that will go directly to you. Maybe to Louise or Al. Because of the subcommittee. And then maybe on the 15th. Well, it's for you to decide. Maybe the following week. I don't know if you want to do it the next Wednesday. Because we need to meet quickly on it. So it could the following Wednesday, or there could be a special meeting Thursday to be reviewing. And voting. That's the proposal. But certainly we welcome feedback. Okay, you just made a good point. And some folks have much longer days than others. Diana, do you wanna just mention why you were suggesting having that extra break?
Oh, I was just suggesting flipping them, but it didn't actually accomplish what I was thinking of. I was probably looking at just the first two. I was just looking for, oh. I was just suggesting flipping the break in the parent meeting, so you did, so if one parent meeting ran old. Or had a little extra room, so no, I wasn't necessarily looking at. So if you were to take that third candidates and take out the extra break,
Yeah. We could, but the parent.
you would then not have any candidates on break at the same time. I mean, we've got enough space in the building, and if you wanted to have folks, you could, but that saves that juggling.
Well, and he could show up later too.
Yeah, I
Which is
mean,
nice.
he's the last interview and he's gotta show up
Right,
early. That's what I was noticing.
Yeah, if he just came for his parent meeting at 1:30.
yes. That was good.
Oh, that works. Right. Okay,
That makes so much more sense.
and then there's no break for the parents are here a shorter time, which they'll appreciate.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at, they had a gap in it. Okay, so that works, because it's just a school tour. Which. Yeah, great.
What else? So the other part of the public, and also the community, that we would want to be sure you
Yeah.
have for two.
You know, just looking at how things are juggled here, I wonder if that third candidate, if you wanna have. You're thinking of having children involved in the staff discussion, which makes sense, but what you may wanna do is do it differently. Candidate and have them do that kid part. During that, because now we've got to be starting. So if you were to put the kids in that third candidate in that first slot. That way you don't have them waiting until another 4. And staff.
Well, yeah, and I wondered if the staff discussion is like pretty much during lunch and then after school. It looks like Carol did it that way, so they're not missing teaching. So I don't know if it's easy to change those.
Well, I'm not saying move the staff discussion, but is there a way to have enough staff there to facilitate a kid's connection with that third candidate
Oh.
at 1:00?
But then we'd have to do the same for the other two.
Yeah, what if the kids join the school tour?
Yeah.
Cause I think also like the staff, if the kids are in with the staff, I think they wouldn't really. I think neither would really get to.
That's, I don't really, I'm
Probably
talking
not really good questions, yeah.
So we'd have a trail of kids.
I think if you have a small.
Are you
You
expecting?
could do a 5 or 10 minute little interview as part of it.
Oh, yeah, I could do the tour and then,
And it could be really short. It
Yeah.
Just, I would love to have some feedback about how they interact with the kids, as well as feedback from kids.
Right, exactly. Cause we wanted to see them with the kids.
right.
Yeah. and if we're telling them this ahead of time, that they're gonna meet with the kids. So they can think about what they wanna say and what questions they wanna ask the kids. So if that's after the tour,
Kids could help. Sure.
yes, some kid, yeah, the whole school parading after. But some kids helping with the tour, are you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So really good.
And then if you had just to set up, if they're going into one of the classrooms, if there's a couple of kids and just really short and really small. Did you have any questions you wanted to ask? Was that somebody's gonna take over for Carol? Just something really. Tiny, and I'm noticing it,
So are you-
tour is followed by a break, so if it runs over a little
Then
bit.
it's okay.
oh,
That's a good
nice, very nice, Carol.
That is completely
Good luck. Take credit for it. Are you imagining Stephen giving the tour or you or?
Especially imagining Steve and so that he had a chance to be one-on-one. When he and I were looking at this right before this meeting, he was realizing this is the day before the MCAS. So there's so much he's gonna, so that's one. Mine's simple.
Okay, oh, that's what those are, SSCL, and got it. Yeah. So it all depends on how well organized he is for MCAS,
Yeah.
which he's already starting to
I'm sure they
do.
yeah, that's so fruitful.
Well, yes, and he is, well, you're right, that's not one time, but he'll get to be a virtual interview,
Right.
which is nice.
All right, so then maybe you and Stephen could think about what kids you want to ask for each of those 3 tours to join you.
That's I wanna like that idea.
Yeah, yeah,
What we can do is be sure the school committee interview is posted on the internet. So anyone who isn't able to participate, they can see it and fill out the survey. Yeah.
so that's how community members can. Now, is it a public event? So if anybody wants to come and sit in on our interviewing the candidates,
They can
Yeah.
just come.
they can come.
Yeah.
So maybe we want to advertise that? Okay,
Yeah, that's how it works.
public's invited.
Yes. First time I saw Carol in action was actually an interview.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I just.
Totally. It's like captured there.
That's the trouble with all
I
this
know.
recorded stuff.
And it's Massachusetts and they're not open meetings in every city. It's a special thing in Massachusetts.
Cool.
Other states have it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it also goes along with our spirit, so
Absolutely.
that's great. And they're all in a row, so parents can come at 3, or anybody can come at 3.
Right.
We talked about multiple days of just trying to gather everybody and the disruption in the school. Just didn't like
No, this seems,
This is a work of art.
seems great.
And we fixed the one problem and added something to it. That's fabulous.
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you to the 3 of you, the Adam and Louise, for doing all this work. You've done an awful lot so far, so thank you for getting us steered through this really important decisions. So we are in an open meeting, so I sort of wanted to shy away from like listing specific questions.
Sure.
But, so that's again leaning on maybe, but certainly, I had one question suggestion that Carol took down yesterday when we chatted. And I think that it's certainly fair and proper that if any of us have specific written suggested questions, we can feed it to 3 of you for that. If you don't mind sort of just being the compiler, I know you found some potential
we
questions.
have. What I've done, just so you know, Brenda, is I was suggested talking about the ask to see, did they ask suggestions that they had like you've been sort of like whittling their list. And I mean, it's because like how in line are their responses to our mission and vision? Like what currently we're just sort of whittling and picking questions are.
But are there any categories of things, any general categories that we want to talk about in terms of what do we want to know about these candidates? You know, so for example, I had already said, well, let's see, you know, if there's this little quirk with the budget, let's ask a specific question about how would you go about, you know, figuring out this quirk in a budget, just to give them a chance to talk about their budget skills and try to be a little insightful about it.
You mean describe our existing challenge?
Or just a very specific type of question about, all right, if you saw this, what would you do? You know, what kind of problems would it cause? What would you fix? You know, so certainly we want to know about their, you know, how they approach a budget.
And your way of getting to that is a specific, which I like.
Yeah. I would also like to send our budget to all of the candidates.
Mm.
And is there anything, I suppose while I'm mentioning that, is there anything else that I should send them?
I mean, yeah, I mean, presumably they've seen the mission and.
Well, do they have our long-term plan?
Or, yeah,
Or,
long range,
So that
yeah.
they can decide how much of it to read and, but is that too much?
I'm just wondering if maybe like district development plan.
Sure, like our goals from this year or very extreme.
Are you saying instead of the long range plan or?
It's that. Just something.
It's long range plan there.
Probably.
How big is that document?
100 pages.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. The district
District
improvement makes more sense to me.
I guess yeah, I'm trying to think about like, I really feel like Carol's an excellent superintendent, and so I'm like. I'm like, yeah, how do we get at some of those things? And like, I feel like something that you do very well is, I'm like, it's hard to describe. I'm like, it's very big picture and it's very like, how are ways to like enrich all of the aspects of like the district? And I'm like, how do you get at that? How do you get at like, sort of like eyes open for like opportunities that's involved in like grant funding, but also in like partnerships and like the artist in residence and like, music, it's like, how do we get at like.
One way might be to say that that's how we do things here, and can they give us an example of how they did that somewhere?
Yeah.
That's concrete.
Yeah, right.
It's easier than than answering a hypothetical question, I think. None of them
It's like a way to think about that would be like what entities do they know and where we're better integrated, like how could they integrate things that aren't already existing? If they, I don't know.
How would they get to know
Yeah.
the town?
Let's just together. And
Yeah,
that.
right. Right, that's a really good question, because then it's, okay, who do I ask to get familiarized? Yeah,
Micro relationships.
yeah, who am I building relationships with? That's a great question.
Thanks.
Thank you, yeah. I don't know how they are with commuting, the distances that each of them would have to commute. I've heard from the one that I screened that it wouldn't be a problem at all, but it just seems like,
twice a week.
well, that's true, it's
So-
not every day.
Just about art. People talk about like, if you talk to someone from Norway or from Northwood, you live, oh my god, it's so far away. So far, I could never drive all the time. It's like, when you would start driving more and go out of the world, it's really not a long distance. And so driving twice a week or whatever, is really, if you're doing 5 days a week for 180 days, yeah, that's a garage. But,
Yeah, thank you for reminding me that we're talking 2 days a week.
It's nice that it's like a discrete amount of time. It's like, you'll have this job and then be done. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay, so forget that question.
I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably not, you're right, I think it's less of an issue.
More if we're ready with Callan next year, but.
Oh, I don't, a question I thought of, well, they should get an electric car.
We've got a policy they can plug in.
Yes.
Right. I just. Oh, when I remember it, I thought of a question yesterday. And I had it and I lost it, so.
We'll get it back.
Mhm.
All right. Any other suggestions? On everything that we're doing but mask, just because this is the first time we've done it. And shared this with Tracy, and she said,
Ella, do you know what, or Ellie, do you know what MASC is? It's the Massachusetts Association of School Committees.
"You're a better mom in training."
She dreams of it.
Yeah, so they, you know, have a deep understanding of the statutes and the regulations related to school committees. So as we're doing our research, some people will have a search firm. We do assist ourselves. Then we do pay some sort of membership fee. Just that property for check everything we're doing.
Can I ask two just interested questions?
Yeah,
How long have you been, because this,
my fourth year.
and how long will you be here when you come back from, what's your?
Yeah, so
You're like.
the currently negotiated idea, I don't actually have an actual contract. What we had said is there would be 2 years, and the first year would be leave, the second I would be committed to be here.
And then we have to find her a part-time job to.
Mhm.
To pair up.
Yeah, yeah, so that I can stay for
So she's.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anything else about the interview? We can always go back.
Yeah, one thing I want to say, when we talk about like rubrics and like when we do the actual interview. I don't know, we have a policy on it, but I know corporate, in the corporate world I lived in, you had to keep the copy. Everybody had to do one of those for every candidate, and somebody has to keep those and hold on to them. That way, in case there was any sort of discrepancy or issue or whatever, legal actions post, that we have our documentation that shows that we did it.
so the rubric becomes a scoring thing that's important to retain.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And that, yeah, so to me, I more appreciate that we'll have a rubric. Because we have to be honest on the rubric, and that's gonna make us be more accountable.
Everything that we've been doing so careful, keeping notes, all the reference checks, we have all been documented. Okay.
So next,
Uh-oh, tuition agreement.
right, you're just getting CFD. I don't think it's
Sentence question. We also asked a question about what was meant by special education.
Increments.
yeah.
Or
we-
Yes, to be continued.
The school choice.
Yeah.
Did a lovely update, which makes it easier to remember in your head.
So we're very popular in the group. And kind of and they actually now kind of because that you know, like done more than just reach out. They've applied, or you know, they're extremely interested. The faculty and leadership team were comfortable bringing 3 more kindergarten seats. We did have a conversation because there is a lot of interest in 5th and 6th too. So we did talk about, I met with the faculty. Right. And so we're feeling like 18 for that class at this time is a good enough. So at this moment, what we wanted to do was just open the 3 more kindergarten to do some recruitment around for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, because there's still room to grow in those seats, and then keeping the class that has 18, keeping it 18 for now.
So 5th and 6th will be 18, given current
It's
enrollment.
just already based on the kids that we already have.
And that's like 10-6.
I think it's like, I think it's like 10 and 10. It's very, it's a nice like routine. Maybe it's 10 and 8.
I think it's 10, and I think it's 10 fifth graders now.
So it's a really nice is. Yeah, so that is proposal. And state that, research that Stephen did, that it really shows how process between the size of 13 and 19. Like, oh,
And is that true too for like the other, like really?
yes, yes, absolutely. And this also is not a kindergarten. So that actually makes, if we did go to 28, even 21, eventually, like say someone else moved into town, given that it's just one age, I do feel more comfortable with potentially being just like one or two things in some of the other classes.
What'll it be like when they turn 5 or whatever? When they go to first grade? What happens when they go to first grade?
With that big strategic plan of grades, one of the possibilities would be shifting and having 2 1-2s, depending on, how many other kids we have. That's a possibility.
And how many classrooms would that put us at? Is
So
there a pre-plan?
currently we have zero things. And I would like us to grow to 6. That's what I'd like us to get to this today. But
Yeah, we
that's
have classes.
next year. Yes, it will be a continued conversation. That I feel comfortable if it's growing to 6. So we go to make that.
It's good.
But we will definitely have a bubble,
We will have.
and we were going to, if we get full of.
That's.
Kindergarten.
So, what would if we open 3 more seats and they all filled, what would the total in kindergarten be? Okay. Yeah, and you're comfortable with that because even if 1 or 2 more kids move in, it's still 20 or less. Yeah.
And the teachers want membership. I would love to have 20 trainers.
Still being still in kindergarten, it's through. 2021.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
so so we would then need to do, given that you've got more interest, I think, you do need to do another cycle then, another.
Like, the one Carol Holzberg does is really just stamps when people like to get all their information in. It's still pretty quick. It's just the basic information. So they would possibly urge tomorrow or day and leave it open for 2 weeks. It is so good. There is an SD managed to go for 2 weeks, but that's the procedure.
and during that same time, you want to do more advertising of the
Yes.
open seats that they're already there.
Because we have. And we hear the bird, do it, nobody wants.
Mhm.
Put this information in the newsletter yourself, but I think, there's a lot of reach.
So just curious, 'cause I'm sure you've all thought about this, so we've only got 1 more seat left in first grade.
Yeah.
So is it really a first come, first serve at that point then?
Yes, that's right. These other seats are just sitting there, and it's completely first come, first serve. So that they can run every situation.
Right. That makes sense, which is where the timestamp becomes very happy.
Exactly.
Is there an actual lottery or is it for
There's-
contractors?
So the way that the state law is, you have a deadline, like our last day deadline was March 13th at 10 AM. And we had 8 seats open, we had 10 people coming. So I did a real, at my office, we put the 8, we put the 10 little pieces of paper, we reached it, it did like a real lottery. And if there's less applicants than the number of seats, they automatically get from general. So that's what happened first grade. 2 applicants, they just got the seat, that's no.
Right.
Any other questions?
No, just a comment that I think it's gonna be hard to fill the 3rd and 4th grade seats, but you got 1 3rd grade,
We got.
so, yeah,
They piece the work that I need to do. I have heard from one choice is that as kids of this age, there are some folks that are homeschooling because they've been unhappy. And I have to find a way to connect to them, which I just haven't been able to.
Yeah. They have a preschooler here, but they're homeschooling their older kids, is that what you're saying?
They don't have kids here.
Okay,
So there are folks who've been unhappy with their personal system. They've taken their kids and
right,
they're homeschooling their 3rd and 4th graders.
oh, okay,
So
so you know of some to approach anyway.
they exist. We might talk to
Mhm.
like them here. Share. Maybe know if there's someone. Good.
Sort of enjoying for, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, is it time for a motion then? Join the work then?
I move that we open up 3 more kindergarten seats of school choice.
Sure. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, it's 3 more seats. One more right.
One more now, right now.
So that means if everybody who has applied takes them, we'll have 1 left.
Yes. I'm still looking one.
Well, I'm the one who was after.
Yeah.
You're the one left?
Yeah, I played at noon that day. Yeah, no, I understand, but you'll have more than.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm confident that I'll have 4, because I've heard from 4, but, now reopening, there may be more interest, I'm not sure.
So Ellie's timestamp's important then.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a lottery. That's
Well,
what
So I'm saying your time.
Oh, the lottery makes the timestamp mute. That's right.
It's still,
Moot, I mean,
if folks put their information and check it down, maybe then vote when they turn it in.
yeah. Right. It's still important, but yeah, I forgot the lottery is gonna, okay. Oh, well,
We decided to do. Sorry.
Yes,
We decided to. Sure, a deadline in the middle of the day. Could, like, you have in your head, I have to do something by March 13th. You feel like you have until the end of the day.
Yeah.
We had picked 10 so that we could do the lottery that afternoon because families are asking.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be able to get back to them as soon as possible. They go deadline be the end of the day, the Thursday before.
Yeah.
and what's the end of the day for us, for you, for this?
Is it the college student midnight?
I'll say like 11:59 Eastern Standard.
Oh, okay,
So it's
PM. Yeah.
And then off,
okay,
just fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's another thing, we can also look and see what the other schools do.
True. People are really funny about it. Like some people out for those like, oh, we're
Well, I was thinking that like maybe it's good to do like I'm like, there are a lot of online things where you can put it in, which in terms of the.
Yes.
you can screenshot it or whatever.
Right,
To be
right.
like, I didn't. Much.
Right,
So,
right. The gosh. Yeah, Wendy and I did it. I think one of us videoed the other one.
oh, nice.
But I didn't actually do that. So,
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm trying to remember exactly where we were in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I think, remember there was a dangling question, but I can't remember what it was.
Yes, the day question which I have for each other minutes that I haven't heard back is what happens if the child has special education needs? And well, first I asked, do you have any other public schools? Because let's talk to the other public schools and see what they do if the student has special education. But when they sent me the list, the schools were all in New Hampshire. And if we know the answer, because if a homeschool student or a private school student needs special education services, they can still look to their public school district. So that's the answer to our question. But I'm still asking because Evelyn wanted to find out. I think it's a good question. Did this organization have steps? If a student had special education needs, and their voucher was only $6,000, and the special education costs were 20. Like what? How are they should work?
So are you saying that the assumption about the home district covering special education costs for homeschoolers and kids in private school is not just Massachusetts, but other states? Because we're talking about New Hampshire, right? I thought that was the problem because we don't know if New Hampshire would treat it that way.
That's fair. Could we double check? Let me double check.
Okay.
Um,
Because the New Hampshire Home District may just say, well, in that case, come on back.
If they have to approve where the voucher goes. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think the person who's approving your voucher goes is just intermediary and then at the state to manage this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's so explicitly. And I said this in my presentation, they have to do their answer. The contract says explicitly if there's special education, that burden falls to the parent. So I feel like that we're protected by that. But I'm happy to keep asking the question. I mean,
And did Russ say that? Like, cause was that a piece that you would run by also?
for us, it's the one, for us and Michael, our two attorneys together made the contract.
See,
Like, this specifically, like how this impact this contract, sorry.
I could see us saying they need additional help and the parent saying no, and I'm not paying for it. It puts us in
I mean, after we've accepted the child and then we discover they have special
a.
education needs.
They're gonna need this, and they say, no, we're not paying for that, what do we do?
We couldn't get to a contract. Even though it's hard.
Yeah, but we would still be having to deal with. We'd still have to deal with the special education of that child, the year that they're there.
Yeah,
So that
or
would
not
be-
full service.
We have to provide the services, even though our hearts we would want to, if we need to provide.
Well, if it's unknown, or if it's unknown to us, then once it arises, the issue arises, that's the start of an IEP process.
Yeah.
And that usually takes a bit of time.
That's true.
So it would be less of the year, maybe, than, you know, it wouldn't obligate us from right when it's identified.
We wonder. I mean, what we have new pre-K and K students coming in to do screening. And that's very good standard practice. It isn't something that we do in first through sixth. That it just isn't regular practice. But it is something that if I could check with a lawyer, maybe in those cases, we could do some sort of screening.
And those cases being any school choice,
It's coming from New Hampshire.
just from another state.
Or
Yeah,
just those two cases where it puts us in that really predicament.
yeah, and yeah,
Yeah, because
That's
we've got some
good.
flexibility about whether to accept them or not.
So it's not just the voucher program, it's really anyone who's like tuitioning in from out of state.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I think we should, because it would basically, it establishes a baseline of Massachusetts standards. Right, as opposed to whatever their standards are.
of the child's
Yes.
skills against Massachusetts standards, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, what makes sense moving forward, saying, you know, because if we have Massachusetts has a standard, we're gonna do an assessment to know where you're at in relation to our standards.
Yeah,
We do it across the board for anyone that's coming on our site.
right, and my little flag's going off in my brain about whether that would be discrimination to only do that for out of state. People tuitioning in.
Well, the presumption would be if they're in Massachusetts, that they've done in Massachusetts at some point, and they've had 1 year or multiple years to examine it, right? 'Cause
Right.
again, it's in
Well,
the-
yeah,
in
right.
the school system for a period of time.
this is true. When they come here, when kids come here, they do get assessed. All the kids do get assessed, yeah. This is true. So they've already been assessed and we need to, yeah, okay, got it.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's kind of my,
Yeah. Makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense.
Okay.
And then you're also getting feedback to the parents too. That gives you another tool when you're having that really awkward conversation. Well, we have to decide if this kid's a good fit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're actually giving them some feedback back. Whether the answer is yes, come on in, or whether it's, well, this isn't a good fit. It would be, you'd have something to say why, you know, that your kid may need more support than you're willing, you know, then it's fair to ask the parent to pay for that.
and it's at the beginning, it's at the front end, that way if that's an issue for them, then they know, and I don't have this awkward transition of a kid here, leaving, and so. I think it's service to the child and the family, not to have them come just to have them find out that they can't afford it.
Wasn't there also a question about whether the New Hampshire vouchers can be used to go out of state to have a child go to Massachusetts or Vermont? Oh, the answer is yes, they can be used. Okay,
Is that anywhere in the country? If you look at all the choice for this, they things all. Like,
wow.
you know, taking here, so maybe I'm just making now.
Right, but if a parent wanted to send a kid to a private school somewhere, they
Yeah.
get the voucher coverage for that much, they just have to pay the rest.
Yeah. Or if a parent is homeschooling because they travel quite a bit,
Yeah,
Right,
it gives them the ability to use the voucher at a program wherever it is they are at the time.
right. That's right.
interesting.
Yeah, super interesting.
Yeah,
Well, not very lot of complications, but I'll get to the bottom of it.
and I'm trying to remember what the issue is for Pioneer in having Vernon kids at Pioneer. There was something about that.
Special education.
Well, I'm not sure if it was rated, I'm not sure if it was related to special ed or just related to whether Vernon was willing to allow kids to still come.
Yeah,
from-
Vermont is taking a hard look at how they're providing education, and there's a chance that over time, that Vermont may be less, as a whole, maybe less open.
Because they want their students to stay in their schools.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants higher enrollment Yeah.
But
in order to make the budgets work.
Yeah,
Okay.
Vermont funds their education different.
Yeah, so it's not
cool fundraisers.
an immediate thing. Yeah. Okay.
We'll do some rotating. And see what I can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sticking with it on that one.
Yes, so we had a family from sure come and find their students. And we do out, we'll see families from out of state can, there's a tuition sliding scale. It goes from 5,000 to 25. And then there's this piece that if you have special education kids, then that's like something family pays. So it's almost like a practice.
Yeah.
But then the family asking to use this voucher, and that has led to meeting after meeting, like, we come up with you, I just, you know, like, emergency really simple, and, you know, we're just trying to be rid of it.
Yeah.
So,
When we get down to number 10, which is confirm next meeting dates. So we've already talked at length about what we're doing on the 8th. But I think it would be wise for us to review the feedback and sort of try to make our choice for the interim superintendent before even vacation.
yes,
So if folks have it in their hearts and their schedules, then I think that means. For me personally, I prefer to do the Wednesday because Thursday is a big FinCom, but
I cannot attend Wednesday.
The 15th, you mean?
Yes. I could do Tuesday.
Yeah, I could do Tuesday.
You guys can also do it without me. That's still fine. I'm going to be on an overnight trip
where are you
Oh.
going?
to the farm school.
Oh,
With your kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, with your students, yeah. Overnight on tax day, that's. Go to the farm on tax day.
Taking my bags.
14th, I might be on Zoom.
So we have to ask,
Particular schedules that the main community, Zoom. 3 is a bit early. Anyway.
yeah, we wouldn't have to meet at 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if we could meet at 4. I couldn't do 3 actually either.
Yeah, you're still teaching.
Yeah, this week and next time we'll.
And if it's a one issue meeting, we could even go later. Right? We moved it to 4 because of my other Wednesday night obligation, but if it's easier for you, for us to have our meeting a little later.
if I'm gonna be in person, it's easier for me to stay there because that is my English day.
Or you and I can get up soon.
Yeah.
Understand.
We could go fully.
Oh, yeah, we could.
That's a good idea.
Oh, fully Zoom, that's.
That's gonna be executive session anyway, right?
I don't think we
I
can.
don't
You can't do.
No, once we've chosen a candidate, we can go executive session, and negotiate it. I don't think we have there's not a lot of reasons you can go into an executive session.
It's all like negotiating the contract.
Yeah.
You know, it seems pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be kind of nice to have us all in the same room, but. Yeah, we could do it
Would 5
Hybrid.
o'clock work for folks here?
on a
Tuesday
Tuesday.
the 14th?
That just seems so weird.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like talking about somebody's public meeting, talk about their compensation, that's sorry.
No, that's not what we're doing, right?
No, I'm just, like, when we do her
We're just
yearly.
we're just
Yeah.
comparing them to everybody else. That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when,
but when we do like the yearly review of her, I mean, it's a public meeting, it's like, it just seems weird.
Yeah, it's very odd.
well, Massachusetts is a unique bird.
Mhm.
5 p.m.
Right.
Yeah,
So we have to ask
and
him.
if we can get I mean, if there's a way to get the feedback ahead of time, that would be fantastic.
So,
I mean, I only just shorten the time period to get by day, but
yeah, that's true. Well,
Oh,
Well,
everybody turn it in by the close of business on Friday.
that's good.
yeah, or somebody to compile one of the things I've done in the past is, well, no, I mean, we take our rubric that we're filling out. One of the things we've done in the past, I've done in the past is I've had somebody take all of them and then score everybody, so you can see what the scores are for each person, so you can actually put them up and look at them, or we can look at them and say, all right, this person was, total it out, see what it looks like. As a way of visualizing that.
Yes, we can.
Well, that would be easy to do,
Yeah, no, and
yeah,
it isn't hard.
unless Carol's rubric has many, many, many questions.
Like 45 minutes, so.
So,
Right, we only have 45 minutes, exactly.
yeah, but we'll also have feedback from parents and staff and.
Yeah, that's amazing to have, to set up that much feedback. I'm impressed with that idea.
so.
The station, when we did the principal hearing.
Oh, that would. I'm sort of using that.
Because it worked.
Yeah, so, they, the voices.
Mhm.
Which was, I mean, it was in the summer, so never, was a position or.
If you'd had enough people participate, yeah.
That's good, that.
We're gonna skip right over confirming the topics for next meetings.
Well, I think that if anybody has any topics for next meeting, we know what we're doing our next meeting.
Right.
If anybody has any topics for
Right.
future
Future
meetings, we
meetings.
actually know what we're doing for the next two.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
That's true.
Yeah, that, right, the 8th and the 15th.
Yeah.
One 14. Well, have you a full meeting. For this, it's just one of the topics. Or will that just be a meeting poll? I need to make a decision.
I was just to do the decision.
I'd love
That
it,
way-
that's not a decision unless we have budget feedback.
That's
Oh, that's a good point.
sounds good.
Because then the week after will be vacation, and the week after that is town meeting. Right? Did I get that
Time
right?
marches on.
Oh, no, I've got a week, there's a week in between.
Okay, good.
Town meeting's on the first Monday in May, right?
It is, so
Yeah.
that's so there's an extra week.
The teachers next. Especially if the budget is contentious, or we're trying to bring a lot of families. I had been talking to them the other day, I let them know, I wasn't quite sure what was gonna happen. And I said, when you're doing all your newsletters, please encourage folks to come to the town meeting, it's something like that, participate, and they volunteered to be child care.
Oh, wow.
I know what Nettie had volunteered, said that to me a couple of weeks ago, but all the teachers have volunteered to do that.
Wow.
It's an amazing
So they know the kids, that'll be,
And,
yeah, that's great.
oh, so the folks who want to town hall, there's a good reason to have it here.
thing.
Yeah, it'd be easier to hang with the kids here,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, it is a bigger room, it's just harder to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the town hall, unless they were outside, you have very few
No,
choices.
yeah, no, I agree with
Certainly
you.
don't want from David, but. It's actually.
Is that because that was your office?
I think he got a lot of work into it. He had a whole table ready for me. So bag of paper clips, and I said, I need an extra monitor.
That's sweet.
We had a motion.
We had a motion, did
We didn't vote.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, there we go. Adjourned.
The minutes somehow reflected that.